I lost my memories, and everyone around me helped me become someone I was never meant to be. When I woke up, the first thing I noticed was how quiet everything felt. Not peaceful, just muffled, like the world had been wrapped in thick fabric. A ceiling hovered above me, white and unfamiliar. Machines hummed softly nearby. My head felt heavy, but not painful. Empty was the word that came to mind. Someone was holding my hand. A man sat beside the bed, leaning forward like he hadn't slept in days. His eyes were red, his expression tight, with something that looked like fear held back by force. When he noticed my eyes open, his breath hitched. "You," he said, voice breaking. "You're awake." I stared at him for several seconds, searching for something, recognition, familiarity, anything. "I'm sorry," I said finally. "Who are you?" He froze. The sound he made next wasn't loud. It was worse. It was the sound of someone realizing they had already lost something they hadn't known how to protect. That was how I met my brother. They told me my name was Lin Yu, that the man who cried at my bedside was Lin Jian, my older brother. That I'd been in an accident. No one would explain how severe, only that I was lucky to be alive. I asked about my parents. "They're not nearby," Jian said, too quickly. I asked about my life. "You don't need to worry about that right now," he replied. "Focus on getting better." That sentence followed me everywhere. At the hospital, at home, at work. Get better. But no one could tell me what better meant, because no one seemed to agree on who I used to be. Jian was careful with me, but not gentle. He watched everything I did like he was waiting for me to fail a test I didn't remember signing up for. When I hesitated before answering questions, he frowned. When I laughed at the wrong moment, his jaw tightened. "You never used to doubt yourself this much," he said once. I wanted to ask whether that was a compliment or a complaint, but I swallowed the question. I swallowed a lot of things back then. May arrived 2 days after I woke up. She burst into the room like sunshine, tears already forming, arms wrapping around me before I could react. She smelled familiar, floral, clean, comforting in a way that bypassed logic.
"I was so scared," she said.
"You scared us all."
"Us."
She stayed when Jian left. She talked when silence stretched too long. She filled the space between my questions with stories. "You were always dramatic," she said fondly. "You never listened to advice. You had a talent for getting people worried." Each story ended with her stepping in, cleaning up after me, smoothing things over, protecting me from consequences. I didn't know enough to doubt her. Why would I? She was the only one who never looked disappointed when I spoke. Life after the hospital felt smaller than it should have. Jian brought me into his company, but not in a role that mattered. I filed documents, scheduled meetings. Everyone treated me politely, carefully, like I might break if pushed too hard. I started feeling like I was made of glass. Then Han Jian walked into my life. He didn't announce himself. He didn't need to. The first time I saw him, the entire room seemed to recalibrate around his presence. He was tall, composed, dressed impeccably, his expression unreadable. When he looked at me, something in my chest tightened painfully. He stared like he recognized me. I dropped the folder I was holding. Papers scattered across the floor. I crouched to gather them, embarrassed. He didn't help. He just watched. "You're different," he said quietly. I laughed nervously. "I get that a lot." "No," he replied. "Different from how you're supposed to be." That unsettled me more than anger would have. Our interactions became frequent but restrained. He never flirted openly, never chased. He simply placed himself near me, observed, intervened when necessary. He was controlling in a way that didn't feel aggressive, more like inevitability. "Don't stay late alone," he said. "Drink slower. Stand here." I followed without realizing it. May noticed immediately. She smiled through it, but her eyes sharpened. She began appearing wherever Jiun was, laughing too loudly, standing too close, offering observations about me that felt off. "She's still recovering," May told him once. Her memory loss made her unpredictable. I stood frozen behind them, heart pounding. Jiun didn't respond. Later that night, he asked me, "Do you feel unpredictable?" I thought carefully before answering. "No," I said. "I feel restrained." His eyes softened, just slightly. The first fight happened when I was drunk. Not wasted, just warm, loose, unguarded. A man at a bar grabbed my wrist, smiling like he expected me to laugh it off. My body reacted before my mind did. I pivoted, twisted his arm, swept his legs. He hit the floor hard. Silence followed. I stood there, breathing evenly, heart calm. That terrified me. June stepped in immediately, commanding the space without raising his voice. He ushered me out, handled security, smoothed everything over like this wasn't new to him. In the car, I apologized until my throat hurt. "You didn't do anything wrong," he said. "You're not scared?" I asked. He glanced at me. "I was scared when you forgot." "Not now." After that, strange things happened when I drank. My balance improved. My reflexes sharpened. My movements felt practiced. Familiar. Jean always stayed close. And always cleaned up the aftermath. May's behavior escalated quietly. She warned Jian that I was unstable. She hinted to Ji-yoon that I depended on male attention. She told me both men were worried about me. I started apologizing for things I didn't understand. Then Ji-yoon left. Business trip. No return date. Weeks passed. May hovered. Jian avoided the topic. Something inside me shifted, not violently, but decisively. I stopped asking. I started looking. The watch Jian gave me was plain. Cheap looking. Inside it, hidden beneath the casing, were coordinates and a symbol that made my head ache when I stared at it. The country I followed them to didn't officially exist. Mountain-locked. Ancient. Closed. The moment I crossed the border, I was followed. Tested. Attacked. The first fight there was messy. 3 men cornered me in an alley, weapons drawn. I didn't think, I reacted. Broke bones. Used walls. Escaped breathing hard but alive. People began watching me differently. Some with fear. Some with recognition. You move like her, one old man whispered. Memories returned slowly. Painfully. Training halls. Cold floors. Discipline. Blood. A man who matched my movements perfectly. Love that was earned. Not gentle. Ian. I learned the truth piece by piece. We had fled together. I had been pregnant. The attack had been meant for him. He erased my memories to save me. Neither of us knew our child lived. My parents took her back. Raised her. Trained her. I didn't meet my daughter immediately. I saw her fight first. She was small. Controlled. Deadly. She didn't know me. I didn't ask her to. Back home, May's lies collapsed violently. Confronted, she screamed. Blamed me. Tried to stab me. I disarmed her without thinking. Jian watched. And finally understood. She was exposed. Publicly. Completely. She didn't disappear. She faced consequences. Ji-yoon returned. Not as a savior. As a man willing to be judged. I didn't forgive him immediately. Neither did our daughter. But we stood together again. This time, I remembered everything. And no one else would decide who I was ever again.